back to the Johnny B. Show.
It's the Johnny B. Show, Monday night, 102.5 The Bone. It's Real Raw Radio. Thank you for everybody tuning in, all the folks out there. Faithful fan base that calls themselves the B-Holes. Phone lines are open for you, 727-579-1025 and 800-771-1025. Of course, Anna Hummel is still here eating cheese crackers.
I am.
Mouthful of food right now.
I know.
Yeah, we're on the air.
This is Real Raw Radio. This is real life.
Raw. Cheese crackers. I love that you look and eat like a homeless lady.
Hey.
There's nothing wrong with it. You look fine.
Are you having one of your breakdowns?
No.
Yeah.
No?
Not today.
Did you have a breakup before you got together with somebody?
Yeah.
You should do it backwards.
You think so?
Yeah. There's a mouthful of cheese.
Yeah.
Just spitting crumbs all over the monitor.
Yeah.
What a gross, sad lady. Somebody that's not gross are sad. And probably happy because the Bucs did not lose this week. From the Cannon Fire podcast, like every Monday for our Bucs Break, it's Rhett Matthew. What's up, pal?
Doing good. How you doing, Johnny?
Not bad, man. Not bad. I got to tell you, I watched like Red Zone yesterday and everything, and it was kind of a treat not having to worry about the Bucs.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice feeling to sit down, watch football, and just not have this constant anxiety that something terrible is going to happen and you're going to have to...
Oh, no, sorry. I don't know. I hit a button.
Call it another wash.
Exactly. Yeah, so I just watched all the other teams. There's a lot of them collapsing, a lot of them doing bad stuff, and I was laughing at other teams like, ha, you guys suck. And, of course, I was going, wow, the Saints are probably going to not only win our division, but they're probably going to win the Super Bowl because without Drew Brees or Alvin Kamara, they look amazing yesterday. Just stomped a mud hole in the Chicago Bears. So, all right, are we ready for our Bucs break?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's get her going. Hit the button, Tubby. You spit crackers all over the place.
No, I didn't.
I saw you.
I didn't. That's a lie.
All right, Rhett. So as we already alluded to, we have no game to review.
Correct.
And last week you were like, do you even want me to come in since we didn't have a game? And I was like, shut your stupid face. We do the Bucs break no matter what. We always have Bucs stuff to talk about, just like the Cannon Fire podcast, still releasing episodes.
Hell yeah.
I listened to the latest one.
Did you?
Yeah, you brought back an old school Morgan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Morgan Pangle. Before CFP, me and Evan did a show called Another Sports Podcast.
Yeah, a real turd. It only had 13
Right?
episodes.
Yeah, it didn't last very long, but Morgan was a part of that show, and he's been a good friend of ours ever since. He's not a big media guy. He's just a Buccaneers fan, and every now and again, it's really nice to talk some football with a fan, you know what I'm saying?
Especially when that's really your demo. That's who you're really talking to is just Bucs fans. You're a fan podcast. So.
Absolutely, man.
That's why I like to listen. Okay, so I texted you earlier because I thought this might be a good idea because I know the Tampa Bay Times put out a top 100 Buccaneer list, and I looked at the list, and I disagree on so many levels of the list.
Yeah, I know the exact list you're talking about.
You know all 100 in order?
I didn't see the 100.
Oh.
I saw the top 25.
They had Donovan Smith is like number 40-something. I'm like, this guy has been letting people run right by him lately. I don't know.
Right.
It's just weird to me.
They had Mike Allstott, not the top 10.
Yeah, you can suck it. I'm sorry. That is stupid. So I figured we could do a top 10 because obviously we're not going to do a top 100. That's ridiculous. But I think a top 10 would be a good discussion. And it's from Bucs fans, you know, and you're a young Bucs fan. So, I mean, you know the folklore, you know the history, but you didn't see all the Bucs players play.
Right.
Sadly, I've seen most of them because I've been alive, a little bit longer than the Bucs have been around. So,
But yeah, I kind of grew up hearing, the stories of the guys 70s, the 80s, your Doug Williams, your Leroy Selmans, and all of those are great in their own right. But for me, I'm not going to say this list is completely guys that I only saw play, but it's going to lean more that direction. It's harder for me to connect with a guy like Leroy Selman when I didn't see him beat up quarterbacks back in the day.
Right. And a lot of this for me, I tried to only pick the players that, from their on-field performance and a little bit of it was how they were with the community and things like that, because it wasn't the most skillful Buccaneers, just the all-time Buccaneers. Who are the most impactful, who are the most popular. When you think Bucs, they should pop in your head, in my opinion. It's almost like our own Hall of Fame or Ring of Honor,
Right.
So that's how I did it. If anybody wants to call in and throw in their 2 cents, who you think should be in the top 10, 727-579-1025, 800-771-1025. So Will did one, you did one, and I did one. We could just start with number 10 and go down if you guys want to.
Sounds good.
All right.
I want to see you go down.
Okay, we'll do that for Anna. Absolutely, yeah. All right, it is. This will be played on a podcast. Who do you have at number 10, buddy?
At number 10 for the top 10 Buccaneers of all time, I have Martin Gramatica.
Really?
Former
Nice.
kicker, yeah.
Put a kicker in there. Now,
It was the glory days when the Bucs had a kicker. Maybe I'm romanticizing that time where Matt Gay's been good this year, but he's still got a lot to prove. I just remember how consistent and awesome Martin was for us.
well, Matt Bryant was pretty awesome for a long time.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
but I think the difference between Martin Gramatica and Matt Bryant's never come in here and beat up any of our coworkers, Johnny.
That is true. He did beat Spanish at the punch out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm old enough to remember guys like Donald Igwe Buike. I remember.
Sorry, what was that?
Donald Igwe Buike, the Nigerian. I think he was Nigerian. He was crazy. Yeah, this guy. I remember Gerald Upremium. Yeah, that guy. I remember a lot of kickers. I remember Steve Christie. I remember a lot of kickers for the Bucs. So I'm an old fart. Okay, who do you have, Rhett, at number 10?
Number 10, it's a little bit of an oddball pick, and I'll explain why, but it's Anthony Davis. And,
Okay.
yeah, Anthony Davis was an offensive tackle for Tampa Bay from 2003 to 2009.
Uh-huh.
He blocked for the likes of Buccaneers great Chris Sims.
Right.
Jeff Garcia.
Uh-huh.
Cadillac Williams is up there as well.
Gotcha.
The reason he's on this list is he was my defensive coordinator in high school when I
Aha!
played football,
Nice.
and he is the definition of a football guy. Lots of respect for AD, and he taught me a lot as a coach about mental toughness, and I've just always had that respect for him, and he's a pretty good guy.
There you go. My number 10 is currently on the roster. My number 10 all-time Buccaneer is Mike Evans. And I felt like you had to have Mike Evans in here for his stats alone. Yeah, do I think he could play harder this year especially? Did he have a little bit of dropsies his second and third year? A little bit. But you can't argue with his production. He has broken records. He has never had a season without 1,000 yards. I mean, he's a machine.
I don't want to say it. This year
What?
looks like it might be that year.
You can't say it. There's still 10 games left.
10 games left.
He's had a couple of, like, he quietly is still getting stats. He still had, I think, 80-something yards last game. He had way over 100 yards against the Rams. You can't really deny what he brings to the table. And as far as I started thinking about wide receivers, because I wanted to put a wide receiver in the top 10, and I thought about old school Mark Carrier, and I thought about Keyshawn Johnson. I thought about guys like that. But none of those guys consistently just racked up 1,000 yards like it was nothing. If we did this list in 5 more years, Chris Godwin might be on that list because he's looking like somebody that may be the best Buccaneer receiver ever.
Best Buccaneer in the league right now.
Oh, yeah, he's the leading receiver.
Well, but best
right now.
receiver in the league.
Yeah, right
But
now. So,
You,
all right.
you get what I mean.
Who do you got at number 9, Will?
Number 9, old school, James Wilder, running back.
James Wilder at number 9. All right, here's what we're going to do. If we match up, and we'll just say where we have that player on our list. How about that? I have James Wilder at number 5 on my list. Number 5. Do you have James Wilder?
I do not.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, I know. I
Really?
actually don't let me not say that because it might give some things away.
Okay, all right. Yeah, James Wilder was just an absolute workhorse back in the day. I mean, that guy would carry the ball 30 times a game. I mean, he was like the only real weapon we had, and he was such a beast.
Did you see that feature that NFL Films did where his son, like they got him all the franchise highlights that he had?
Yep.
And they put it all together for him to watch. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he asked for his birthday. He plays for the CFL now. He played for Plant High School in Tampa. But he asked for his birthday if he could just get the highlight reel that he used to have on VHS tape that got lost, and NFL Films sent it to him on a DVD, and he watched it with his dad, and they did a whole presentation.
That's awesome.
So awesome, man. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
So my number 9 is linebacker. His name is Hardy Nickerson.
Okay. Do you have Hardy on your list? Let's see. I have Hardy on my list also. He's not my number 7. Hardy Nickerson, number 7 on my list. Hardy Nickerson, he was, when they first started doing free agency, that was the first big free agent that the Bucs signed.
Yeah, it was that 93 year I think they got him, and that was probably his best year in Tampa.
Well, we got him from Pittsburgh. Did you have Hardy Nickerson there, Will?
I almost did, but no, he didn't crack the top 10 for me.
I think what he brought to the Bucs more than his skill set was just the attitude adjustment that we needed. Is that why you picked him?
Yeah, he kind of laid the groundwork for the mean Bucs that we saw in the late 90s and early 2000s with the Super Bowl title. He kind of brought that identity of just don't F with us. You know what I mean?
I'm proud to be buddies with Ian Beckles, who played on the same team with Hardy for a few years. And anytime we talk about attitudes in the locker room and somebody that you just don't F with, he always brings up Hardy. He's always like, man, that guy commanded respect. Like, you walk in the room and he's in the locker room, that's Hardy's locker room. That's what he did. All right, 727-579-1025, 800-771-1025. Are we at my number 9 now? Oh, I hope you guys got my number 9 on you. Did you know that was your number 9, right?
Yeah, my number 9 was Hardy Nickerson.
My number 9 was a tight end named Jimmy Giles, baby. Big Jimmy Giles. He's in the Ring of Honor for a reason. Jimmy Giles, that's back in my era in the 80s.
Yeah.
He was almost identical as O.J. Howard body-wise, except for he caught the ball and they used him as a weapon. Doug Williams used to light people up with Jimmy Giles. Don't you agree, Anna?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I do agree. Thanks for asking me.
He was good. How are those cheese crackers?
They're great.
Yeah,
Finished them.
You look fine. Number 8, Will.
Number 8, I really didn't want to put this person in because I always had this thing that he sucks.
So racist.
He won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson, number 8.
Sorry,
he
man.
won a Super Bowl for us. He was a quarterback of the
You know
team.
who else won a Super Bowl that year? Sean King. He was on the roster also.
Yeah, no, but he wasn't the starter.
I'm not
Johnny.
taking anything away from Brad Johnson. He did a fine job. He was the definition of a game manager.
I know. I feel this way, too. He was so boring to watch. He was a game manager.
He was fine.
Saying. I hated it, but he won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl, but when I think of Buccaneer greats,
I know.
I just don't think Brad Johnson.
He won a Super Bowl with defense the same way Trent Dilfer did with the Ravens.
But the quarterback is like the guy of the team. The offense, he's like they're always the captains. Brad Johnson was the captain of that team. He was efficient enough. He won a Super Bowl. It was boring to watch. The defense
and he only played here a couple years. Look,
I know the defense won that Super Bowl that year, but
I can't put Brad Johnson in over Jameis Winston because Jameis Winston's a better quarterback. Sorry.
No.
Stats?
You're out of your mind.
I'm not out of my mind.
Yeah, stats-wise.
Jameis Winston throws touchdowns. Sometimes to the other team.
I'd have to look up.
Oh, yeah, but he throws it to our team a lot, too.
Still counts.
Exactly. The guy just throws TDs.
We moving to number 8?
Yeah, what's your number 8?
Let's do it. My number 8, greatest Buccaneer of all time, is number 97, Simeon Rice.
Oh, he almost made my list. He was right there.
Oh, man. 6 seasons with the Bucs. He had 69.5 sacks. Second all-time in franchise history.
Baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Get it.
He's a guy who is probably the most dominant edge rusher in Buccaneers history. I would say so.
Yeah.
And he's continually snubbed for the Hall of Fame. What the hell's going on?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. He was right there. I almost put him at number 10 over Mike Evans. But I just wanted to put a receiver in there. And Mike Evans was, to me, I think he's still the best receiver. My number 8 is number 47, John Lynch. He's my number 8. Another guy that's been he's being snubbed for the Hall of Fame also.
He'll get there eventually.
He should get there. But yeah, John Lynch, I really don't have to explain why he's so badass. Everybody knows why.
I have John Lynch in there at number 4.
Okay.
He is my number 6.
Okay. Very, very good. Number 7.
Number 7, didn't see him play, but I know he's a legend down here for that time and kind of one of those people like what could have been if he stuck around, Doug Williams.
Doug Williams, number 12 from Grambling University, number 1 overall draft pick.
Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, I don't have Doug Williams on my list, only because quarterback-wise, he wasn't here long enough. You know, he went and won a Super Bowl with the Redskins. Yeah. He still does a lot of stuff in the area. I'll always have a little place in my heart for Doug Williams. I thought he was awesome. I love the way he played football. He had a rocket, just a cannon of an arm. He was great, and he was exciting to watch. He threw bombs. I mean, he was really, really good. But
he was my guy who barely cracked the list, or didn't crack the list. It was a toss up between him and Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. AD had to get in there. Everybody's googling Anthony Davis. I actually have, of all my Bucs jerseys, I probably have more Doug Williams jerseys than anything. I probably have like 6 Doug Williams jerseys, including his college jersey I have at the house right now. So
nice.
I love the Doug Williams. He just, to me, not in the top 10. Sorry. Okay, what was your that was your number 7?
No, that was my number 8 was Simeon Rice. My number 7 was a guy who should probably be higher, Leroy Selman.
Oh my God, yeah.
Face of the franchise, big Tampa community guy.
First Hall of Famer.
And he still takes my money every few months.
Oh, how does he do that?
The Selman Expressway.
He gets mine every day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He probably should be higher, but definitely an all-time great, and for a lot of people, the greatest Buck of all time. But
gotcha.
He's at 7 on my list.
All right, we'll speed it up so we don't run out of time. Number 7 on my list, I already told you, was Hardy Nickerson. Number 6 there, Will.
Mine was also Leroy Selman at number 6.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What was your number 6 there?
Mine was John Lynch.
Okay, my number 6. Number 40, the jersey worn by more fat moms than anybody in the whole city. Mike Allstott, baby.
Yeah.
Not only just such a beast and a highlight machine, but super nice guy, still in the area. He's a football coach. He's a great guy. Charitable, the Allstott Foundation. He is one of my favorite not only athletes and Buccaneers, one of my favorite Tampanians ever, Mike Allstott. He has to be in the top 10.
The A-Train is number 2 on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the A-Train, baby. Best fullback in league history, and he is my favorite Buck of all time, but he's not number 1 on my list. But the cool thing about Allstott, is he's such a good friend of the station. And through this job, I've been able to just kind of like hang out with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you said, he's a very down-to-earth guy, a good Tampanian, and glad that he's around.
I actually did like a little joke on him, and he took it so well. When Zane was about 3 months old, I was at training camp, like I go pretty much every year, and my son was about the size of a football at 3 months old. And I went to have Allstott take a picture with him because he was wearing a little 3-month-old Allstott jersey, right?
Nice.
That was a year after Allstott had like fumbleitis, right? He had his big year of fumbles. So I go to hand him Zane. I go, hey, will you take a picture of my son? And as he's putting his hands out, I said, you know what? Maybe I'll just hold on to him. Yeah, kind of a rough year. He just giggled and he goes, oh, that's pretty good, man. Then I held Zane up to him and I got the picture at the house where you can see my hands on my son next to Allstott.
You didn't trust him to hold your son?
Hell no, man. What if he
man.
would have thought, he would have had like PTSD and it was a touchdown and he spikes my kid? I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean?
Right. He does get those 1,000-yard stares every now and again.
He's so awesome, man. Let's go to number 5, Will.
My number 5 was Mike Allstott. Yep.
There you go.
Boom.
Number 5, Rhett Matthew.
Mike Evans, best Buck wide receiver ever, period.
Wow.
Discussion. Yeah.
There you go.
Already has the records, the elite stats that we just talked about. And to top it off, he is a class act. I love watching the guy play. Love having him in Tampa.
My number 5 is James Wilder, the machine. James Wilder, he's a legend in Tampa, and I always love that guy. Number 4, Will.
Number 4 was John Lynch.
Okay. Number 4, Rhett.
The QB killer, Warren Sapp, baby. What else is there to say? I mean, the late 90s, early 2000s, tough Tampa Bay football, punch you in the mouth style of football we talked about. That's Warren Sapp.
First
dude.
ballot Hall of Famer. As soon as he was eligible, it was no argument in the room. All 50-something voters were just like, yeah, number 99, just write it in. Yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect. My number, let's say, are we at number 4?
Yes.
Four,
Number 4 is Leroy Selman for me. the very first Hall of Famer, like we were saying before, just a legend, and he was an animal. His brother Dewey actually played for the Bucs at the same time, both Oklahoma guys, Boomer Sooners. Love Leroy Selman. It was sad the way he passed. It was very, very sad. That was a year I was coaching the Brandon Bears for the first year, and I put stickers with number 63 on all of the helmets, and I thought it was going to inspire my team. They had no idea who he was. And when I said it's for Leroy Selman, one of the kids says, I love his wings. And then I was like, all right, I just blew $40 on stickers. Number 3, Will.
Number 3, Rondé Barber.
Hell yeah.
Number 3, Rondé Barber
Nice.
on my list.
Really?
Dude, why is he not in the Hall of Fame?
He will be. He got to be. He's number 20. He's still such a big part of this town. He's class. He completely changed the way you play corner. He even played safety, switched flawlessly towards the end of his career. Just an animal. He's got, to me, the biggest play in the history of the Bucs when he intercepted Donovan McNabb to send us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can't think Buccaneer greats without Rondé being one of the first names that comes out of your mouth.
The guy was committed, never got hit with any major injuries.
Nope.
He played pretty much
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a bad MCL the Super Bowl year. Played the whole time. So
Yeah. We actually, they had him for an interview on Miggs and Swigs one weekend, and
Right.
we had talked to him about it, and he said there were several times he probably shouldn't have played, but he did, and luckily for him, no major injuries. But yeah, I mean, he truly is a testament to commitment to a team.
not only that, but he called into this show during the draft the year before last and said to me, and I quote, I'm a big Johnny B fan, and then I ran around the parking lot of a Buffalo Wild Wings and cried and hugged 4 strangers. That's why he is number 2 on my list.
Hell
Rondé
yeah.
Barber, number 2 on my list.
Very nice.
I think we all have the same number 1, guys.
I'm pretty sure we all do.
I think so.
Yeah.
pretty
Who's
crazy.
number 1? Who's number 1, Anna? Who's the best Buccaneer ever? Best ever, Anna?
Yum nuts. He's Polynesian.
I apologize to all the Cannon Fire podcast listeners. Anna's an idiot when it comes to sports. She does not hide it. What's your favorite hummus, Anna? There.
Cauliflower.
Ugh.
It's actually really good. It's really good.
No, I
That's
agree
over
with you.
that.
It's got to be great. So we all agree it's number 55.
Yes, sir.
I have actually had Warren Sapp as my number 1.
Where's Derek Brooks? Number 2?
Number 2.
Oh, you son of a
man.
bitch. No, number 55 is number 1 for me. Number 1 for Rhett. You got Warren. You just flip-flopped them.
Yeah.
I have Warren Sapp as number 3 for me. Rondé Barber, number 2. And I have Derek Brooks at number 1. So there you go. Quick, let's do our predictions for this week coming up. No reason to really set up this match. It's the Tennessee Titans versus the Bucs. The Tennessee Titans have Tannehill playing instead of Mariota.
Who's to say Tennessee's not just going to say, to hell with it, and throw Mariota in there, because he always finds a way to beat Jameis.
Once or twice. I don't know. Tennessee's not as bad as people think. They just beat the Chargers. So the Bucs have to win this game. You can't be 2-5.
Right. 2 and
Cannot
5
be.
is a hole that you really just cannot afford to dig yourself out of, especially in a year where you're supposed to, make these changes and prove that you're a different team. 2 and 5 looks pretty familiar to a lot of Bucs fans, and depending on how Jameis plays, that loss wouldn't look good.
And we're not winning our division. The Saints are going to win the division. We have to have a better record than the Cowboys and the Vikings and all the people that will be
And
playing.
the Falcons.
No. And all the people that will be playing for a wild card, that's who we have to try to keep pace with. So we have to win. Will, what is the score of the game this Sunday against Tennessee?
Man, I want to pick the Bucs so bad.
You don't have to.
They had the bye. You know what? No, I'm going to take the Bucs. I think they bounce back. I'm going to say the Bucs win.
We're going to lose just because you picked
I
Tampa.
know. 21-17. I'll take the
Bucks win. Okay. Rhett?
I think it'll be a little more high scoring. Ryan Tannehill, didn't he just throw like 3 or 4 touchdowns?
had a good
He
week
did not
last
look
week.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to say that I'm worried about that guy, but the Bucs don't do good against backup quarterbacks. I think it'll be a fairly high scoring affair. I'll go 35-28 Titans.
Okay. Look, I did a little research. Bruce Arians, after a bye week, pretty stellar. Pretty good record. You don't give that guy or Todd Bowles 2 weeks to prepare for a mediocre team, maybe a little bit of an average team. I don't think we lose this game. I think they know how important it is to win this game. I think Todd Bowles comes out and the DBs are exceptionally better. I mean, it's not hard to be better than what they've been. Just show up and breathe. But I think the Bucs do pull this out, and I think it is a little bit high scoring. But I think we win this game 31-17.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're going to put it on them.
For the record, I think the Bucs have a great chance to win, and I'm confident that they will, but somebody's got to pick against us this week. It's just, if we all pick the Bucs.
I picked the Saints last week. I was right. Or the week before last. I was right.
Yeah, but I don't care about. I'm like 0-6 in predictions now.
Sad.
Somebody's got to pick against us, and I guess I got to take one for the team.
That's fine, man. If I really felt like Tennessee was going to win, I would do it, but I just think it's too much of a must-win situation, and I think that 2 weeks preparation for two coaches that I think are still great coaches, despite our record, I think we win. Tell everybody how they can find the Cannon Fire podcast and all of your social media, Rhett Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you want? I'm sorry. I apologize, Anna. That was rude of me. It was borderline sexist of me to just forget about you and your
You just
prediction.
assume that I don't know or care about, the Titans, the Bucks.
All right, who
Go
wins?
on, then.
Who wins, Anna? No, go
Okay.
on.
I don't really know much about really either team.
We know.
Really care
We know this.
or no.
Yeah.
I think the Tennessee, right? Titans are going to win,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but it is what it is. I say that it's probably going to be like pretty close. I'm going to say 26-21.
You're fired. Get out of here.
All right. Quick. Who's the MVP of the game? Will?
MVP is going to be Chris Godwin.
Ooh. Rhett Matthew.
Ronald Jones, baby.
Okay, guys. You're going to flip out. O.J. Howard will break out this game because of all the rumors of him being traded. Patriots are wooing him and all this stuff. I think they're going to unleash O.J. Howard. They're going to put some sticky stuff on his hands so he don't swat the ball all over the place like a volleyball player. He's going to be great, and he will be the MVP of the game. All right, Rhett Matthew, Cannon Fire Podcast. How can we find it?
You didn't even ask me about who I think's going to be the MVP.
Because you don't know a name. All right, Anna, who's going to be the MVP?
Amethyst Brown the third.
Amethyst Brown the third.
Yes.
I like it.
I will give you all the money I make this year if that is the name of the person
He's had
that.
a quiet, great year.
He's a real sleeper, that Amethyst
Yes.
Brown the third. Nowhere near as good as his dad and grandpa. They were real football players. Son of a bitch. All right, Rhett. Slap all your social media out there if you can get it out.
Cannon Fire Podcast. You can listen to us on anywhere you get podcasts, and then you can watch with video on youtube.com at the channel Cannon Fire Podcast. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all of those Cannon Fire Podcast. And then myself, Redicus, Instagram and Twitter. If you follow me, I'll follow you back.
I'm on your page right now. You just got to follow from Amethyst Brown the third.
Wow.
So congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations. He's listening right now. All right, we will take a break. When we come back from this break, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what do we got coming up? Man, I'm glad you asked. I mean, I got my prep page right here, obviously. Somewhere it left me. It went away. What are you doing? What?
I'm cluing you into what's next, probably.
Oh, okay. There was a man in Florida, Anna.
Oh, yes, that.
He is up for manslaughter because he
man.
killed somebody that was peeping in his window, peeping Tom. Yeah, we're going to talk about this because when you hear the details of it, you may think it's okay that he did it, but the law says, nah, he's going to prison. We'll discuss it when we come back. Is it okay to murder somebody that's looking at you and your girl while you're banging it out? Find out next.
It's the Johnny B Show on 102.5 The Bone.